Oh,
You know what? The questions turn into a bullshit session, so let's do that.
yeah, good idea. Shall we start taking questions, or are we interrupting something that was...
Hey, did you have something in progress?
Absolutely not. God, you guys are here. You were just vamping until we showed up. That's exactly what I use.
I would say, tell me who you are, and tell them who you are.
Oh, I know about Divine, but okay. First off, my name is Chris Casey, and thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm in set shows as Fullmetal Alchemist, as Blvd. I was in Dragon Ball Z as Jin Shinhan, as Popo. I'm Roman Empire in Italia. I'm Mega Man in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That's right, Bad Box are Mega Man. And all kinds of interesting things. And to my right...
Thank you for that throw. I'm Carlos Ferro, guys, and it's my 4th year at wonderful ConnectiCon, and you guys know me from Gears of War, I'm thinking, Dominic Santiago, and Assassin's Creed, Leonardo da Vinci, and yeah, do those applause, I like that, I think. And a bunch of other cool shit, and oh, by the way, we curse. So if there's anybody offended by cursing, you're fucked. So, leave now. But I get all excited, man, because I'm sitting next to Duke Nukem.
Okay, I'm Johnson John, voice actor, blah, 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 blah. Regarding voice acting, by the way, I'll just get this done right up front. I do not make a living doing video games. It's this much of my work. Where's the real money, Carlos?
Prostitution.
No, it's in commercial work. So I'm heard on TV and radio stations all over the country doing a lot of commercial work, because that really is what pays the bills and puts my kids through college. So anyway, yeah, I have a long list of credits for video games. Many of you've heard of, many of you have not heard of, most notably the Duke Nukem series. World of Warcraft, Half-Life, Opposing Forces. I'm doing Dota 2 on Wednesday when I get home. Yeah! I just did Counter-Strike last week. Did anybody play Counter-Strike? Any beta testers on that one? As it turns out, if I may just ramble for a moment, because we have an hour to kill, apparently players felt that the commander, that's me in Counter-Strike, who tells you how to train and how to play the game, was too condescending. So they had me back last week to recut it in a kinder, gentler read, and all I have to say about that is you bunch of pussies. But enough about me. Let's talk about me. Seriously, let's open it up to the
let's open it up. I mean, you guys, it seems like you guys know what we've done through this, so we want to talk about voice acting. I mean, it's not like, stick to voice acting. Anything you guys got right now?
Well, yeah, I mean, just from like a technical perspective, when you're putting together like a demo to send out, what would you do to set that up?
Sure. Let's see, the answer is, what you want to do first of all, is it voice acting or a commercial demo, or what are you talking about exactly? Oh, that's what you're asking, okay, fine. Well, at least 2 that you can do would be a commercial demo and a character demo. I would say a minute or less, actually a little bit under a minute, and don't skimp. In other words, don't do it at home with a, oh, hey, it's me. Because we have 30 seconds to listen as a director, I know. As soon as you hear it, if it sounds bad, you immediately don't listen anymore. So you need to make it professionally done. You need to go to the studio and have it done. You need to show your range. And also, when you do the character demo, don't do like Woody Woodpecker. Don't do pre-existing characters, do your own version, because that's what we want. There already is Woody Woodpecker, for example. So, how about that? That's what I have to say.
Excellent, well done. Another question? Anything, guys, right there.
I just want to ask you specifically.
Okay.
Boxer briefs.
Dom beard?
It's the what?
Last year you had the Dom beard?
Last year I didn't have the Dom beard.
You look pretty good too, why'd you shave it? I'm sorry, I intervened on your question.
I hated it. Like, I thought it was all right, but I had no idea the maintenance at that length. Like, there's this real thin razor's edge.
Lazy.
There's a razor's edge of like, kind of cool and homeless. So it's just a bunch of shit that I've never had it here. I did it because Microsoft thought it would be cool at Comic-Con, and so I did it. I brought it here first. I was growing it, and it was just weird, man. It was so weird, being itchy and sleeping on it. It was weird. It's like I felt like I was waking up next to some guys.
Like that hasn't happened.
So, good shit. All right, so it's gonna be that kind of afternoon, guys. All right, not morning. Okay, you know, guys, have you guys seen that there's a gorilla in the back of the room? It is the most disturbing thing for me up here. I keep trying to like kind of be serious about voice acting and demos and shit, and I look over and he's like this.
Yeah, the gorilla is not moving or waving. He may be dead.
Oh my
The gorilla doesn't have any gas. How about that?
God! I like it.
What's the question back here?
Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero. God, that's really hard. I think one that I actually played in the original Capcom versus Marvel arcade game. Of course, it's my favorite because I played it. I was Captain America on the original.
Yes.
I wish I was still Captain America. Well, how about you, Carlos?
Actually, it's a tie, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's the rich guys, Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne. I
Favorite superhero? Can it be real or imagined?
Oh, here it comes.
Boner Man.
The answer is imagined. Does it matter?
No.
Rich man. No, I like Batman. He's one of my favorites. Thank you. Well, we accept who you are. Who I like. How about you with the questionable eyewear? Yes.
Obviously, this isn't your first guys' convention, but when you first started going to conventions, what did you just feel? Was it like apprehensive for you, or was it just you just went?
What? You'd like to know how we felt about going to our first convention?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like work or as an attendee?
Either.
Shall I start? Because I'm ready. My first convention I was invited to was down in Killeen, Texas, called Animex, which was an anime convention. They wanted to branch out and bring video games in. And at the time, Duke Nukem was pretty hot. They said, we'll get guys from Fort Hood, the Army base over here, if we have Duke Nukem show up. They didn't promote it very well. So it's me and 4,000 14-year-old girls in fluffy costumes. And I spent most of that con in my room just waiting for panels to come up. And after that one, I was apprehensive about future cons. It's like, wow, is this what it's going to be about? And then the second one I did was MagFest, and it was a goddamn rock and roll party. And personally, my favorite con every year is MagFest. And
My favorite's ConnectiCon, what are you trying to say?
Let me know in mind that people pander for applause at every opportunity and sugarcoat the shit until you're barfing it up. But ever since MagFest, it turned me around, and I love going to cons now. They're so fun. Even the anime cons for me are a lot of fun because the fans are so damn cool. What about you? MagFest is in Washington, D.C. every January, right after New Year's.
Text him. So my experience was, it wasn't recent history. It was actually, I was on a show called Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I was in the last season, and I'm a big Trekkie geek, and it was amazing to be on the show. And then I was that guy. Did you guys see Galaxy Quest? Remember Sam Rockwell's character? That's essentially me in this scenario. Is that I was a red shirt on the last season's, like, seventh to last show was my big episode. I did 3, and I was so hyped up about it that I had these delusions that it was going to be like this, like people like gave a rip and cared that I was there. But it was silly because I did do the whole thing and go, and it was really funny because I got basically that "Who are you?" thing like over and over and over again. But I was so stoked that I kind of was like numb to it because I was hanging out with Major Barrett and all of my heroes that, you know, it's a trippy thing to see, you know, Nurse Chapel from the original series doing something right next to you, like signing and all that. Hardly a colleague at that point, and I was just blown away. And it's that feeling that I had when I went to cons as a kid. I've been going to cons my whole life. Is that when you find your people, it's like when the internet, you know, mid-90s, when everybody went bananas with the internet, everybody was going, there's another person that's into this, you know? And that feeling was pretty overwhelming, and I didn't really get a sense of it until I was there at Creation's Grand Slam Con. And it was so cool that I was hooked, and I wanted to navigate myself into any kind of geek pop culture thing, because it would be this. And ConnectiCon really is my favorite show. All of
Go
us,
ahead, applaud again.
It's my 4th year, and this year it's at the same weekend as San Diego Con, it's at Comic-Con, and we all had a choice of where to be, and I wanted to be here because the passion that you guys have for your shit is pretty amazing. It's not like this at every con, and if you guys go to other cons, you know that you've got crossplay, you've got your anime people, you've got amazing amounts of cosplay for a convention that essentially started as a board gaming get-together from University of Hartford, So my experience, my long-winded experience is that when you find your people, it's the best, regardless if you're working, attending it, small scale, big scale, Duke Nukem, the Chris.
Hi. By the way, when you mentioned Star Trek, the gorilla went crazy. So that's cool. Do you like Star Trek? Excellent.
Thumbs up. I'm big with the gorillas, it's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see, the first year I went to cons was 2006, and my big memory from that year would be, I was in a city who will remain nameless, actually it was Detroit, and it was over my birthday, and it was November, and they take me out to dinner, and they surprised me with a birthday cake on the cake. It's icing, the characters I did, I thought it was cool. We had about half the cake, they wrapped it up in a white box, and now at night I'm walking down the halls of the hotel, and all I want to do is go into my room and just faceplant into the cake and eat and cry as usual. But this time, I'm walking forward, and all of a sudden, this girl stands in front of me and goes, "Hi." I said, "Hi." She said, "I have a favorite anime character." I said, "Well, you're at the right place. This is fun." And she said, "Yeah, well, I like to keep my favorite anime character really close to my body." Uh-oh! At this point, the cake's getting really heavy. And she said, "Do you want to see it?" And I said, and before I had a chance to say, "Not really," slow motion matrix, she turns around, pulls her pants down, mooning me essentially. I'm staring face to face with Hello Kitty yellow panties. And I'm on real estate. And so now she turns around, she zips up, says, "So what'd you think? Sweating." This is a big moment for her. And then I said, "Gotta go." And I went to my room and I began crying, as I said. That was Friday. So cut to Sunday. It's closing ceremony. Closing ceremony is always kind of funny because opening is kind of like a pep rally. Like, we're going to have the best weekend ever. Sunday. We have the best weekend ever. And then when the car is ready to take me to the airport, I got the bags in the room. It's a bigger ballroom than this, packed full of people, and the car is running. I'm walking with the luggage. People are crossing. And all of a sudden, "Remember me?" "I think I do." And she said, "Guess what I'm wearing?" And I said, "Could it be that you're..." Before I had a chance to finish, she turns around again and pulls the pants down behind the knees with growing confidence. And now I'm staring face to face with purple Hello Kitty panties. I guess she bought the Hello Kitty fun pack, and she turns back around and she says, "So what did you think about that?" And I said, "Gotta go!" And I ran to the car. So I've never looked at Hello Kitty the same way. Thank you.
Now that's a common story.
That was an amazing story. I was like, how is that going to end? How is it going to end? How is this going to end?
Poorly.
You guys already said that about the Hello Kitty. What would be your guys' weirdest con moments with?
Mine happened 10 minutes ago. I'm on the way, that's why I was late. I'm on the way here. I had to stop in the men's room. I'm at the urinal. There's a guy in the stall next to me.
Oh, no.
Looks around the wall.
"Hey man, do a Duke line for me."
And I did. The line I said was, "You need boundaries." That was weird. Thank you for that question. It was so timely.
So you have it. That's awesome. I told last night at the Voice Actors Roundtable, I told a story that a guy stood next to me at the urinal, and there's a proximity. I mean, it's right next to each other, these urinals, and the guy's standing there, and he goes, "How do you get into voice acting?" And I can mid-piss. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, "Can you give me a second? Can I wash my fucking hands?" So anyways, so you have one, that's awesome. All right, another question, right here.
So, you guys got kind of a weird question to you guys, because I shot you with that whole line
I remember.
last night.
I remember.
Yeah, you weren't there, I was completely
I don't doubt it.
sorry, but,
Gonna be cruel again? Bring it.
You're on an island?
You're on an island.
Like,
Why should you give you lemons? What do you do?
Lemons is a metaphor.
Eat the lemons. Come on an island hungry for
look for more lemons.
Ask for more wishes. What are we doing? No, I would say if life gives you lemons literally and you're on an island, I would literally eat them. If life gives you lemons, that's because you're stuck on an island. It can be metaphoric, like a big. Yeah, that's one big lemon on your head. Wow. I don't think you lemon.
And with that, next question?
Mind blown.
How about the guy with that in the dark blue shirt? Yeah.
Outside of cons, do you ever find yourself recognized for your voice first just on the street, or are you shrouded in that name?
I do, because I do a lot of TV and radio imaging. For instance, in San Diego, where I live, I'm the voice of a TV station there. I have been for like 20 years. When I go out to dinner, or I'm at a club, or go to a concert, or whatever, and I meet somebody, go, "Hey, nice to meet you." They go, "Hey, I know you. You're that guy. You're that guy on the TV, right?" So I don't get recognized, of course, as Duke Nukem or anything, but as like the announcer voice. I mean, people will call me and I answer the phone at home, John St. John Productions, and they say nothing. "Hello? Oh, I thought you were recording." I get that a lot. So yeah, people recognize my voice when I'm out on the street.
Yeah, in bathrooms.
In bathrooms.
I'm a bit of a press whore. I'm crazy on Twitter and who say, and you know, it happens, but it wouldn't be as common, I would say, as people who do a lot of television. I mean, I do a lot of commercial work and episodic TV. So here and there, someone just goes from something, that thing, but you know, in geekdom, it's like, you know, I think we get recognized quite a bit because they've seen us at panels or see us in the program, you know.
Yeah, sometimes they put our biopics in the program.
Sometimes.
And so people
Not
recognize
this
that.
year, but you know.
Yeah, I do a lot of character voices that are not mine, therefore not really, but I remember in, I guess it was 99, I walked into a toy shop, long story, and they have TVs going all over the little toy shop. They have anime stuff and lunchboxes and all that. And you know, I walk past Dragon Ball Z toys and snicker, I have a secret. Then I walk up to the cashier and I buy probably something really awesome, I forgot what it was. And they were showing, it's on Cartoon Network, and they're showing Dragon Ball Z. And as I'm paying for something, like, okay, how much? I'm probably going, oh no. And then I can hear myself and see, well.
The guy pulled his pants down.
He pulled his pants down. Everyone's showing their underwear. It's cool. And I paid that way. And then I look up and it's like, and I'm thinking, wow, that's so cool. I'm on TV right now. And I'm right here, and there's me, and it's happy times. So those moments happen on occasion. Like, you know, I'll record on a show. It'll be on the Cartoon Network. I will DVR it. I'll come home, sit down on the couch, a bag of chips, Doritos usually, and I'll forward it to my part and go, I'm on TV. Delete. Well, that's happening. Yes.
Well, this is mainly just for you, but what's your favorite anime that you weren't in?
Why is that just for me? That would be a question. My favorite anime that I wasn't in, anyone I didn't get. I would say probably, actually, you know what? I like the Hellsing series a lot. So I would say that's one of my favorites ever. But also growing up, I watched what I didn't know was anime at the time. I watched Voltron, Robotech, Geo's Battle Planets. I watched Star Blazers. And I just, as a kid, I was just sitting there with my bowl of cereal watching this after school thinking, this is not funny. Because most of Western cartoons are funny, like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, and I love those. But then when I watched that, I thought, wow, this is like, you can feel things, it's not just laughing, it's like serious and cool, and the artwork is amazing. So I later found out that, hey, that's from Japan, and then totally started doing it. What? Living the dream. I hope I answered your question with sufficiency. Next question, how about you in the back of the hand and the face? Yeah.
Have there ever been any specific roles or lines that fans have like played you with that have just gotten annoying?
No.
No, they never ask us to do that.
Do the thing we like you for.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Exactly right. Yeah, all the time. Another question I want to get to a lot of people. Right there.
My question is, what's the best way to get your foot in the door?
Stand at a urinal next to a guy. Any guy. And say, how do you get your voice over?
Just follow me around, so next time I'm in a urinal and some guy leans around and says that, I can say, ask who's good.
Yeah, somebody follow me to your urinal. I'm the only one up here who hasn't been accosted in the bathroom. Oh, God. How about you, sir? I would like to know. Please. How do you get your foot in? The actual answer to that is I trip over every single word, is, persistence. If you want to do voice acting specifically and not voice work, like the new Lexus blah, blah, blah. If you want to do act like anime acting, video games, you have to go where the work is. In the case of anime specifically, you've got California, New York, Texas, and then a little ocean group or a big ocean group in Vancouver. Those would be the main spots to go if you want to do voice work specifically, like voiceover. I mean, you can start really anywhere. But of course, the root of all that is acting itself. You have to be trained as an actor before you can do anything else in terms of voice acting, because that's just another branch of acting. So I would say begin with acting training, and then once you do that, you get some training, you put your demo together, you get an agent, and you're off and running.
Are you discouraged enough yet?
Perfectly answered.
I've got a demo, I've got acting experience.
So what your question really should be is, how do I get representation so I can get the jobs? Because without representation, you don't get the auditions.
Yeah.
There are several ways. There are internet resources now. One is called voice123.com. There's voplanet.com. These are services that you pay for. I think VO Planet is what, $250, $300 a year or something like that. But, your very first job will pay your fees once you book something. But keep in mind also when you're auditioning, and I heard the ladies panel, like Rachel Robinson, who's in the room, earlier they were saying, wow, if you book 2 jobs out of 10 auditions, you're doing really good. Really? If I book 2 out of 50 auditions, I'm doing really good, so you guys are kicking ass. Your job as a voice actor, your real job is auditioning. Because that's what you do day in, day out, over and over and over, and you just wait for one email to come in and say, you booked this one, we're checking your avails.
It's an odd thing when they say you're not working, because it's like, well, we're working every goddamn day.
Oh, yeah.
We're auditioning constantly. It's,
A lot of marketing.
yeah.
Totally. But you got the right idea. In fact, you just put it out there that you need one. So maybe that's a good step in the right direction. Anybody here, we get the idea. How about you? Yes?
If you get lemons on an island. You have way back there in the neon deal.
Is there any need for branding when it comes to voice acting?
Yeah.
Marketing yourself with brand?
Definitely, you want to create a brand of yourself, not as your character. It's like, I'm trying not to just be Duke Nukem everywhere I go. Because I'm versatile, I do a lot of, I've done 150 some odd games. I've done a lot, and every voice is different in every game. I've done, games like Candyland where I'm the entire male cast of the game.
It'd be so awesome if you just grabbed the mic and started singing, you'll never find.
As long as you search. Okay, but if you're going to be a brand, like I want John St. John to be known. Duke is already famous, that's fine, but the brand for me is John St. John. The brand for Carlos Ferro is Carlos Ferro, so that he can own his, what do we call it, intellectual property.
Our IP, our brand. Branding's a big deal, period, now. It's not even new school anymore. It's just social networking, and everything's changed. And for actors, like carpenters and pizza shops, everybody has to brand themselves to kind of set themselves apart and stay employed. So yeah, it's a good question, and it's a big, strong yes. So you're on this side right there.
I know the work is in
characters pretty much, but how often do you get to use your normal voice? Or like voiceover?
Daily.
Daily, like
I was going to say, it depends. It depends. I've said before, in terms of voice acting specifically, there's a lot of different ways you can go, but they tend to fall into two branches, and this is me wearing the director cap, which is you either have, in my opinion, one voice that is so marketable that you're asked to do that voice all the time. It's usually yours. The Inner World guy, for example, what is it in LA?
Don LaFontaine.
The Dirty Don, what is it? The Dirty Dozen, what they call it? Like the top 12 people that have the Inner World type voice, or Inner Worlding all the way to the name. Say what?
Is that the Dirty
It'll
Dozen?
Yeah, the Dirty Dozen.
land before time.
There you go. And by the way, these are guys who mostly sound like that in life. So that they go through Taco Bell.
I'd like a large burrito. Thank you. The world where I'm hungry.
So you have that. Or you can do you can diversify. I used this example yesterday. I love Gary Oldman. I think he's a great actor, and he's a chameleon. In every movie, he looks different, he sounds different, and I love that about him. So you could go that route too, and you diversify. So really, to me, it's you have that one voice that everybody wants, or you have multiple character voices that everybody wants. So it's one of those two. Good times.
Excellent. Right there.
What inspired you to get into voice acting as opposed to any other?
Bills.
As opposed to mine, for example. Well, let's see. There's not a lot of money in that. I guess it was a case of all. I can't speak for the other two, obviously, but it's just you're an actor and you begin auditioning for everything because you, as an actor wants to act, and so you will go and audition for everything. And then what happens is you audition for one thing, and whoa, people start liking it, and then you follow that stream, and that's where it takes you. So that's my story.
And I would say for the panel, we have been fortunate that we are into what we do. Like I have met actors that could give a rip. They don't know Superman from Batman. They're like, Bruce Wayne's from Krypton, right? Fuck. You know what I mean? Like I've been around those guys, and I would say that we enjoy. That's why we're at a con, for Pete's sake, is that we dig what we do, and we probably excel at this sort of thing because we enjoy it. You know, I would say most actors that do well tend to really dig what they're doing, and you don't see some actors that were big movie stars. That I worked on a movie called Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Thank you.
The blockbuster.
And I met a lot of real heroes and movie stars in the booth, and they're working with me, and they just were uninterested. Some were really uninspired and didn't care that they didn't know what they were doing, didn't know what they were doing, and it's a weird thing. So, you know, there you have it, me talking shit about movie stars. Okay, back there.
About the instrument itself, do you work on your voice so it, you know, you can, like a saxophonist would work on a sax playing? And then another part of this question, is your talent in the voice, how much is innate, how much is work, you know, how much you develop it? And does it translate into a good singing voice? That's the second question.
For me, it started when I was a kid, you know, imitating cartoons. I think the first one was, you guys are too young for this, Gigantor. Gigantor, the teenage robot, he's at go. And it was going, okay, Buzz. And I did Snagglepuss and all the other cartoon characters, Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters and all that. And if you started at a young age and you've been growing up learning to imitate your family members or the characters on cartoons, you start getting what we call muscle memory in your throat. You can manipulate your voice with a lot of practice to make, you know, different pitches, different ranges, different tonalities. You know, you can be real gritty, or you can be real smooth. Whatever you're trying to accomplish comes over just years of practice. And as far as the instrument itself goes, there are a lot of things you can do to, like when I have a singing gig, I drink water all day long. And my voice is very fluid at night. If I have a movie trailer or, you know, a commercial that requires that kind of voice, always schedule that for in the morning. Have a little vodka at night, and some singing and partying. Stay up too late, get up too early, be really damn tired, and sound like this when you get up. So you can manipulate the instrument to do what you need. It takes a lot of practice. What about you, Carlos? What do you do?
No, I say do.
Double ditto. Next question. Next question. Hell yeah. Have a tea with a tie.
Have you ever